Welcome to the podcast recording of Middle East AI News, live, for Thursday, January 25th, 2024, brought to you by Carrington Malin, Marketing for an AI-First World. You're listening to my discussion with Mohammad Arshad, co-founder of Decoding Data Science, where we talk about the growing demand for data science specialists in the UAE, the drivers behind the formation of Decoding Data Science, and the launch of the company's first AI hackathon.
So let's dive into today's topic. In today's Thursday deep dive, we're going to be talking about data science and machine learning skills and the demand for those in the UAE. We'll also be talking about a new AI hackathon launched to encourage local and regional talent. And we're going to touch on what decoding data science does, what exactly data science and machine learning roles entail. And in the UAE, the region, the growing demand for data science and machine learning skills. There's a new AI hackathon launched by Decoding Data Science and UK-based Applied AI Company. And we're also going to go into details of how to take part in that competition and the timelines for that and deadlines and what have you. And if we've got time, even more than that. So I'm going to be joined by Mohammad Arshad, co-founder of Decoding Data Science. Mohammad Arshad has a long track record in technology and is an accomplished data scientist himself with 20 years experience. He's run data modeling and analytics projects across a wide range of domains, including HR, talent management, marketing, help desk demand optimization, retail, product pricing, supply chain. He has held several senior data science roles in a variety of tech and business leaders, including Accenture, Dell, Majid Al Futtaim. And he's the founder of Decoding Data Science, and a consulting company that provides data-driven solutions to businesses to increase cash flow and generate organic leads. The Decoding Data Science Academy has successfully trained over 3,000 individuals to secure their dream jobs in AI and data science. Meanwhile, the company organically has grown an AI and data science community, which now has over 80,000 individual members. So a warm welcome to Middle East AI News Live, Mohammad Arshad.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. Great to have you here. Now, everybody in business has now heard the terms AI, data science, machine learning, also other terms like big data, advanced analytics, data modeling. However, there's also the possibility that a lot of business leaders are still blinded with science a little bit. So it'd be a good idea, I think, if we started off with some simple explanations of what we're talking about and what these new roles mean and entail, just to make sure we're on the same page. So, Mohammed, what can you explain in layman's terms what data science and machine learning are?
Thanks. It's a very important question, Carrington. And at end of the day, everything that we are talking about, it can be AI. AI is the whole ecosystem, right? I simply define it as the new electricity. The buzzwords that we talked about, AI, machine learning, everything boils down to data. And the terminology data science that we generally talk is an art, like science of dealing with the data, wherein we are not only using programmatical approach, but also mathematical and statistical approach. So that is the science that how you play around with the data. Right now, we are all hearing about AI because that is the buzzword. Everyone wants to get associated with the AI, the buzzword, and every company is having that initiative. But end of the day, when you go back and see how actually it works is through data science. And just to break it down, AI is an ecosystem. Machine learning is a part of it that started in 1997. And then we had in 2009 deep learning. And inside deep learning, there is a component of generative AI. And data science is an art that will be required everywhere. As we all know, generative AI is also based upon the data. What is large language model? It is a collection of all the tokens and all the words that are there. So end of the day, even you need to be a data scientist to work with the generative AI capability. So this is the thing that we need to understand, that AI is an ecosystem and data scientists are the people who are working in this area. So data science is a science of dealing with these technologies, and machine learning, everything comes as a part of it. And I will talk more in the details about this later on, but every company has to start with procuring the data. So, and when we talk about the roles, I will tell you the different type of roles, but we need to understand initially it started with basic data reporting. After the reporting, we have traditional machine learning algorithms that we apply over the data to solve our business problems. And then we have the advanced machine learning algorithms, or what we call the generative AI, the LLMs and all those things. So this is how we go ahead.
So a lot of organizations you can see on, just if we browse LinkedIn, have AI teams or data teams that have data science specialists and they have machine learning engineers. So what do those two parts of that team do practically?
Yeah, very, very good question. And this is when I talk to leaders, and this is a very big discussion that AI, when we say AI and ML, we it is nothing different, right? ML is a subset of AI, and there is no distinction between AI and ML. It is a buzzword that people are just using it interchangeably. But I remember few years before the generative AI boom, there were people who were called as a machine learning engineer, and the role remains the same. They are working on the machine learning algorithms, the advanced algorithms that are there, even deep learning algorithms that they are there, neural net and all, they were working on it. And after the generative AI boom, then those same role they have replaced the ML with AI because it looks more cooler. And I know a few companies, specifically in the DIFC and the new companies that are hiring for this role, everything is the same. The ML, whatever they're doing, ML engineering work that they were doing is the same, but only the extra thing that is added, and that is only 5% component, is how you can use an LLM over your machine learning or your local data sets that you have, the architecture that you have created. So that is one thing that is extra. But to be honest, there is, when you're talking about this difference about AI engineer and ML engineer, it is very less, because the work that they do is very important. And one more question, Carrington, people ask me, right? To do this LLM work, like you need to know machine learning, deep learning, and all those things that a machine learning engineer does? So the answer is yes, because end of the day, when you go back and see how these LLMs are built, they are large scale supervised learning techniques, and everything has started from a neural network, weights and biases. Slowly, everything has been added up and made more sophisticated. So if a person wants to be a good data scientist who is working on LLM and generative AI, should know machine learning very well, deep learning very well. Then only he will be able to improve these models. You can say it is a evolution. And to be honest, these job roles by companies are little bit, you can say, distracted. But at the end of the day, the work that they do are very much similar.
Yes. So if you're a machine learning engineer, then you're going to be focused far more on developing algorithms than in a data science role. And the data science role, you're far more focused on the data and the outputs from that data and how that's analyzed. Does that sound right?
So yes. So now coming to that, to be honest, there is a very, as you said, there is no separate data science team and there is no separate ML team. What you told was somewhat correct, but in a real world scenario, there is no different team. Once the same person, because he builds the data lakes and he builds the data for the modeling to work, and he also runs the model and he also gets the output. But if a person is only focused on ML and he is not into the data analysis and the data science much of work, he will be only in very specific domains, like it will be a pharmaceutical domain or a high risk financial domain, wherein the accuracy has to be 99%, where he spends a lot of time in iterating the model and making sure he is doing research and putting in a lot of effort. But that is a very small part of the business who works in only the accuracy part. At most of the projects are at business value part. So it comes under the data science part, and the ML part is a very few companies who invest in research or in very specific use cases like the medical, like G42s of the world, TIRs of the world, where their work is to improve the accuracy and do more research. So that type of roles, to be honest, are also a very small part of the whole gamut. But one thing I wanted to, just to be clear in making you understand, the way I explain everyone about the different roles, if I can just take 2 minutes, it is
Sure.
these terms that we are interchangeably using: AI, ML engineer, AI engineer, data science. So data science is not a role. It's like a horizontal domain. And if I could have done a visual representation, it would be nice. But just to make our listeners understand the roles, the three major roles in this whole AI and data science ecosystem for any company is: data engineering is the first, the people who are responsible to get the data from various sources, structured or unstructured, into a data mart, so that you can derive value out of it. That is the first category of the type of roles that are there. That is called data engineering. The second one is the data analyst. These are the people who, after getting the data, maybe structured, unstructured, try to build some value out of it. Maybe it can be answering a business use case. It can be doing a prescriptive analysis on, or diagnostic analysis of why this is happening, or building reports and simple models that are there, simple forecasting models that can talk about what is happening, what is the outlook of the sales. This is the second part. And the third part are the data scientists. These are the people who are very much focused on prescriptive or predictive analytics, or little bit ML ops type of work, to automate all the work of the model that is there. So these are the major three things of role. Data science, when I say, is not categorized as a role. Data science, as I was mentioning, is a horizontal. It is the science of using data. So the data science skills are being used by almost all the three roles. And the last part, the data scientists are also the people who are working on ML, deep learning, large language model more as well. And to be honest, as you grow in this career path, when you become a principal data scientist, and the role that I was doing before I left my full-time job was, I was a principal data scientist, where I used to manage end to end. As a principal data scientist, you should understand end to end a project, how you are bringing value to the business.
Yeah, that's great, actually. And it leads into my next question, because you touched on it a little bit in our conversation so far. These roles are high profile in technology companies, in software development, in the new R&D efforts that we see in the UAE. But these are now becoming common roles in business and in large organizations that want to leverage their data better. So what are the sorts of drivers and the value that these organizations want to get out of this exercise? What's driving their hiring on these roles?
Yeah, great question. And regarding the Gulf, when you talk about this region, many companies, they want to use the power of data and artificial intelligence. And the first thing when I'm seeing and talking to consultants and talking to the companies, is their current data ecosystem. And to get the data maturity, to make sure that the data governance is there, and whatever they are doing is being captured in a proper ERP and data management systems, the work of a data engineering has to be most important. And this is where I personally feel, and where the demand is happening. You will see that this word data engineering in the last 3-4 years has been popping up everywhere. Every company requires a data engineer to make sure that their data is getting captured from various systems and getting value. And one statistics that we understand, that 20% of the data is structured. So it is very easy to get value out of them. But the 80% of the data of many companies are unstructured. They are in the form of, you can say, reviews, emails, voice notes, meeting recordings. So they have to be transformed so that companies get value. So data engineering is one of the things that are very important. And according to that, for initial work, we have the data analysts that are there, who make sure that they are getting some business questions answered. Every company, they want to do AI, but when we go and see, their local data systems are not in place. So this is the area that initially every company invests in. And once they have reached a level of maturity, then you can apply these forecasting models. Just for example, a company, if they want to do a sales forecast, they should have at least 3 years of proper data that is there at a weekly or at a monthly level. Then only we can be able to do the forecast. So that is one thing, that to do any data or any AI, any machine learning, we need to have historical data. And to make sure that the company is having good historical data, they have to set up proper pipelines and proper infrastructure. And so I personally feel data engineering and data analysts are data. And when I say data analysts, initially the company may not require high-end machine learning models. I am talking about right now mainly business service oriented companies that are there who want to use data and AI to bring more business value. But there is one more set of companies that you may hear, that are product developers like Angami and all those things, which are looking, they are building a product based on AI. So they are having a different type of hiring that is majorly into senior data scientists and ML engineers to put AI in their products and build their product offerings.
Where's the talent coming from to fuel this growth? And we've as you said, we've seen massive data transformation across the region, companies working on their data supply chain, organizing their data better so they can use it. Now we see a wave of companies employing machine learning engineers and data scientists, analysts to work with that data. Is this all available locally? Is it 50-50 in terms of hiring from outside the region? What's your view on that?
Yeah, great question. So I can talk more about UAE. These type of roles that are there that companies are looking for require some level of skills. And getting a fresher out of a college may not be a ideal scenario for many of these companies. So what I am seeing is they are being lot of trainings that are being organized by colleges, by in accordance with the corporates, and after that they are being put into junior roles. So this is one thing that are there, but these are very much different for the tech and data roles. For the business functions role, a fresher can be given some training and they can be absorbed. But for tech roles, and specifically because it is very challenging, what personally I am seeing, they are at least requiring people with some experience. And the experience may not be that he is working full time in a company, but also it can be internship. So this is one trend that I am seeing in colleges, because I am visiting a lot of colleges and giving talks and sessions, that the students nowadays in their graduations are not only doing their studies, but they are also working as an intern. They're also founders of companies. They're also building applications. So this is one thing that is really helping distinguish them from the other people that are there. So companies are, to be honest, open to hire people who can show their proof of work. And to answer your question about specific roles that are there, mostly they are looking for experienced people. It can be from outside UAE or from within UAE, people who are working and who want to make a shift. Getting a job without any experience and getting your first break in data, specifically I'm talking about data today, is little bit challenging. And the best way that I suggest people is go through the internship route, work in a company as an intern, maybe giving you a very good experience, try to build some projects, and then go ahead for it. But there is a big gap, to be honest, Carrington. What I see, that there is a big gap between the recruiters and the job seekers. There is a gap that has to be fixed, because what they want and what people are offering are not matching. So communities like us come in the way to try to bridge this gap, and I can talk more about that later on. But the way jobs are getting, job postings are happening on the internet, and the way it is getting filled, also there is a big gap. Because as you see, any job on LinkedIn, there are more than 2000 plus applicants for any data roles that are there. And it is very tough for the recruiters to even filter out the good ones from there. So mostly they try to go for referrals or internal hiring or through recommendations, which is the case that I am specifically seeing in the UAE, in the Saudi region. I had talks with recruiters. It is very challenging to go through thousands of CVs and find out the proper candidate because it is time consuming. There is a lot of demand. Making sure that the supply reaches the demand, managing the gap is a challenge I see as for now, and maybe it will continue for some time.
It's an interesting and exciting market from the point of view that there's opportunity at the bottom and there's also now growing opportunity at the top for more demanding roles that require more experience. You see the entry level. Do you think that demand is being satisfied by the output from universities and colleges and training programs in the UAE, or do you think there's still a gap there as well?
To be honest, the academics, the colleges, what they're teaching right now is to be out of date, right? The things that they are teaching, and this is one. Whenever I talk to students, the fear is that the way technology is going, what type of jobs are going to remain. This is one thing that is very close to me also, that I can see the outlook, and maybe you can also see a lot of things are getting automated, and the most of the conventional jobs are going to go away. They're going to be very limited type of jobs. The type of jobs are going to change. It's going to be a complete refresh of the type of jobs that are going to happen in the next few years. And right now, to be honest, there is a lot of awareness sessions. So I am also part of this initiative where I go and talk about these new skills, like this prompt engineering, these how to fine tune, how to understand the language of large language models, and how to talk with them. But nothing is being taught right now. But one thing that is good about specifically the UAE and the Saudi is that they have a lot of programs where they invite speakers like us who come and share the real life things that are happening and how you can adopt it. Because these colleges and whatever they're teaching may be the foundations, but the foundations are changing very fast and new things have to be added. But what I feel is the two things that are very important for anyone who's listening here, if he wants to stay in this field, is lifelong learning and your attitude to always to fail. These two things are very, very important. For me, it is almost 20 years in this industry, Carrington. And just before this call, I am learning new things to deliver because the way things are changing. Almost every day, I'm getting faced by challenges of running a model, processing issues, runtime issues. So these things every day is a learning for me. Senior roles as well that you mentioned, it will be there. People who understand what is happening and giving a realistic picture and guiding their junior teams to perform is also there. It is up to not only the government but also companies to take this initiative to have more trainings, to organize more boot camps and hackathons to get that culture of learning new technologies as well.
One final question on this before we move on to your company. Do you see certain sectors fueling this demand for data science talent?
Right now, the software engineers, people who are doing computer science, engineering, computer science, these are the students. Most of these new tech jobs are data related. So to be in this field, coding is one part and statistics and math. So coders have a more big tendency to excel in this field right now. The most of the demands are going to be coming from this space. People who are software engineers who have studied this in this career path and trying to prove themselves. And for your second question, the demand that you said is going to be fueled mostly by self-driven individuals who are not only depending upon their academics or their current work, but building side hustle projects that they are showcasing in their resumes and in their portfolio and LinkedIn, which is very, very important nowadays, and then getting with the visibility and getting the call. And this is the way I see. And also one more thing, Carrington, and personally, I'm seeing this, not sure how much is going to happen in the UAE and the Middle East, a culture of gig economy, right? When I say gig economy, people will move away from full-time jobs and work on projects. And this has been there in the West. And slowly I see that some companies that I am personally talking to, small companies, I'm saying mid to small companies, they are not looking for full-time hirers. They are looking for a consultant for three months. And this is because they don't want to hire and they don't want to do and this is the thing that is going to increase more and more, because the project demand and the skill set demands are changing so fast. So they don't want to be associated with a full-time employee, but a contractor. And as a profession also, you can also work with 2, 3 contracts every year, and you can also balance.
Yeah, I think you're right there. So let's move on to decoding data science. Tell us how you came to found decoding data science. And I think it's partly obvious because you obviously see a huge opportunity in this area in the UAE. But let us know how you got it started.
Yeah, this is a great question. So this company has founded by passion. And this is one thing that is there. The story being, for almost 20 years, I'm in this space, worked in companies like Hewlett Packard, Dell, Accenture Consulting, and I got an opportunity to come to UAE for a project. And after that, we liked UAE, we liked Dubai, and we made it our home. While I was working for Majid Al Futtaim, and one more thing that I was doing as a side hustle when I was in Accenture Consulting, I was a part of the learning team. When you say Accenture learning team, in India, I come from India, Bangalore, the Silicon city of the East. There were a lot of computer engineers coming out of the colleges, but they were not able to get onto projects. We used to hire them because they were good in Python, that is coding. They were good in coding, they were hired in, but they don't understand math, statistics, and asking the right business questions. If you give them a task, they will be able to do it. But data science and data scientist role is very much different. No one tells you what to do. People give you a business problem that the sales are dipping, find out why. And then you dig into the data, you do a lot of question, hypothesis testing. These skills were not told to them because they were just doers. You give them a code, do write this logic and give it to me, they will do it. But they will not be able to solve a business problem using the coding and the business and the mathematical skills. So I was part of this 3 months program where we used to teach them end to end how to link everything together, how to link coding, what are the basic maths and stats. And this was a part of the Accenture team, and I really like this approach. And also, I started helping people offline as well who wanted to switch a career, because there are still in India, there are few colleges right now that have happened. But 10 years back, there were no colleges that was teaching you data science and artificial intelligence in undergraduation. Recently, only it has become a big thing. But right now, there are colleges that are a little bit focused on that in India specifically. But that in earlier times, we did not have that thing. There were no job ready people that were there. So that is why when I came here, I thought that the demand here is more, because in India, when I was doing this, there were a lot of the people who are doing the same thing. There were a lot of academies out there. But here I saw that there was very less people who are teaching you the actual things that are required in a job, not the theoretical knowledge, but the practical knowledge. And I was being approached by many individuals to help them, even companies, how they can use AI and data science, how they can create a pipeline for AI and data science project and hiring. So I started doing consulting, and I saw there is a big demand here with coming for so much experience of 18 and a half years when I started the company. I worked in 18 and a half years in corporate. So I had a very good experience dealing with multiple clients, training individuals, hiring individuals, making them ready. So I put everything here and I started this particular company, focusing on three things, as you were mentioning earlier, right? Consulting. We need to do consulting to make sure that businesses understand what has to be done. Then the academy part was continuously going on. So academy I started as a side hustle 8 years back, Decoding Data Science, where we have self-paced courses, internship type ready courses, and all those things that are happening. And then the third thing is very recent. 1 year back, I started this, connecting everything together, the community. And this is one of the major, you can say, goals for our company is the community that we have created. So as you were mentioning, 80,000 people across different platforms. It is UAE's largest AI community, and it started from UAE, but we have a lot of reach from this region, from Europe, from US, from Australia. We have lot of events. And this is very important to fuel all the concerns that you were mentioning earlier. Hiring demand, the talent resources, how we can connect both of them, the businesses and the learners together through this 360-degree feedback was the main mission and focus of our company and community. This was the main reason why I started this academy. When I was telling you around 8 years back, I started the academy for the specific reason that the main focus was job ready path for data science and AI roles. People are learning the academic, the theoretical knowledge, but what are the things that are actually required? So how is this program designed? And it works scientifically that 3 months you're going to study we all know about Pareto principle, right? Focus on the 20% to get 80% impact. So this 20%, don't need to know everything. You have to first focus on the 20% and make sure that you are good enough in the major skills that are there, like the coding, the math stats, basic ML skills. After that, you do an internship under our guidance. And this is that opportunity for the people who are there with us, according to how they have done the course, their assessments. They will be given live client projects. When I say client projects, the POCs of the startups and SMEs that are working with us, and if they like him, if they like that particular intern, person, they will have an interview and then they will onboard them. That is the first step. The second step is if he wants to do something on his own, he has a business problem, he has a project that he wants to do. Under our guidance, we will end to end, we'll try to implement him. So end of 6 months, not only he will know the foundation, he will also have the learning experience for 3 months that he can show in his resume, and that will help him in getting his job. So this is the thing that was academy, that the problem that I was trying to solve. And community is accelerating that, because now I'm able to get both type of people, right? People who want to have their business problem solved using our help, whatever company it is, an AI or tech-based startup, and the learners who are there in the community who want to learn. And end of the goal for everyone who is there in this, specifically the learners, they want two things, right? They want to be skilled enough to get a good job, or maybe do their own startup. And so we help them in both the areas. Or maybe also the third thing that I was talking to earlier, right? And I tell everyone, freelancer is also not a bad thing, because the world is going towards freelancing. Try to get your first gig through Upwork freelancer. This is also one thing I push everyone to do, and it is no harm. You are going to work on real projects and gain skills. So these are the ways I'm trying to help the things. So academy and consulting were the two pillars, and community is trying to connect everything, fuel the growth.
Sounds great. So let's move on quickly to the new AI hackathon, which you've just launched. Do you want to tell us about what it is and who this hackathon is aimed at?
So this is a company, the Applied AI Company. It is a AI-based firm in Abu Dhabi. It is backed by G42, and they had reached out to us a couple of months back. They wanted to hire interns and professionals, and I tried to help them. I tried to give them some CVs, but the type of role, it is little bit, you can say applied AI. It is little bit of high-end role, which I'm going to talk about. So the best thing, the best approach that I suggested and we work together is, why don't we organize a challenge that can be solved by a team or individual, and according to that you may get your pool of resources for your intern, as an intern, or your future pipeline that is there. And also that this business problem that they are trying to solve, we may get some better and faster solution also, that they are already working on this type of project. So the project that they want, the challenge that they want, is that they are working for for Abu Dhabi Fire Department, wherein the firefighters have a mic. When they go to the field of accident, they speak to the mic, and that message goes to the control room, plus it goes to the suit that the person is wearing, and gives a command. Like suppose a person is going and he wants to know the temperature around him. He wants to know the battery level of the oxygen or the suit that is there. So he will give a voice command like galactic temperature or galactic battery. This challenge has to be done, that it has to take the command and it has to send it to the first translate it into a text, then it has to send it to the control room and then send it to make sure that it is actually asking the correct thing, and then push it back and then give the output that is there. In real time, this has to happen. The challenge is how you can do it faster, more accurate level as well. And this is a way. It's a 20,000 dirhams is the cash pool price, that is approximately $5,450. And this is not only for the price, as I was telling you, if a person completes this challenge and he comes in the top 3, he will also be a potential employee of that company. And this is a very great initiative. And this was one of my, you can say, missions as to start my company and to start the community, is to organize these type of challenges and hackathons, which not only helps companies reach the correct talent pool, but also bring that innovative culture. And this hackathon has been launched on the 18th of January in our community meetup in DIFC, and we have registrations till 31st. If you want to register, you can go to decodingdatascience.com/hack. 31st, you will be registering in a team of 1 to 3, and the challenge will be released on the 3rd of February to everyone, and you will have 8 days. 11th of February is when you can submit your solution. It is going to be a 1-minute audio, which you need to process and get the output. And the winner is going to be announced in our next community meetup, that is 15th of February, 2024.
So if you were to try and explain the profile of who should enter to this?
So it's a good question. I forgot to tell this, that this is a remote hackathon. This is open to everyone out there. The main thing that people should understand is Python, because at the end of the day, the notebook is in Python. So Python knowledge is very important. A little bit of understanding how voice translation works, but those things can be learned, because right now I'm telling you the problem. So the internet and the chat GPTs of the world are there to make you learn very faster nowadays. So the challenge is going to be reached on 3rd, but you have time to even learn these things very fast. But the main thing that is there, Python is there, but you don't need to be an advanced Python programmer. Even basic Python programming is good enough for you to start. And the main thing is, it's going to be a team of 3. So it can be a mix of people who are good. Some people are good in coding. Some people are good in understanding these voice models that are there. So to be honest, it is not that high level. Once you get the challenge, you can always learn, and you can always try to solve and try to iterate and try to build the fastest solution with permutation and combination. And one more thing, Carrington, is that everyone that is going to be part of the challenge is going to get the same. They have to run the program in a same computing resource, which is going to be shared. It means that you cannot use a extra GPUs and bigger notebook, bigger cloud, and solve it faster. That does not work. It should be reproducible in a instance that has been set in the challenge. Everyone has to run it on the same computing power, and the way you run it, the logic that you write, the model that you use is going to be the distinguishing factor for a person who wins it, and for the person who is not able to win it.
You mentioned that teams are going to be taking part in this. Do you choose the teams, or can teams enter as such?
So the team is 1 to 3. One person can enter individually, and the team can be up to 3. So right now, the captains have to register, the team leads have to register their email ID. And later on, when they are submitting their proposal, they have to submit all the 3 people's name and email ID. And they can be remote, they can be from different areas, that is fine. But right now, we have only the team lead has to register in that link that I'm going to share, and with the team name and the captain's email ID, and then he will be asked to fill all the details that are there.
So if there's one person, it could be one person, it could be a team of 3. Is this open to people only in the UAE, or is it also open to people outside the UAE?
So as I told you, it is open to everyone. It is open to everyone worldwide. Okay. It is a remote hackathon. It's encouraged for everyone to try, even if they are not only looking for students or entry-level professionals. because this problem, they are looking for people who can solve a business problem in a very fast way. So they are open to no age groups, even if you're a senior professional who wants to, just for the learning experience, if you want to participate, you can participate. So this is one thing, that keeping an open hackathon is a very good thing without any criteria. Whoever has the zeal to innovate is welcome to participate and take part in this.
Okay, so there's no specific requirements on skill level or education. And the deadline for applying is the 31st, right?
Yes.
Perhaps you could tell us what's the timeline then during the first 2 weeks of February? What will happen and what will be expected of
Sure.
participants in the hackathon?
So as I told you, 31st January, you have to, the registration is closing. Then 3rd of February, the challenge will be released. So everyone who is there, who has submitted, they will be getting an email at 9 o'clock in the morning regarding the notebooks and the instances that are there that you have to use for solving this problem. And there are going to be 3 support calls to help people who have any questions. The same day, 11 o'clock, that is 3rd of February, 4th of February, 11 o'clock, and then 7th of February. So support Q&A call will be there for people who have participated, and if they have any question regarding the data, the model, any question that they are arriving at, they can join that call. All the links and everything will be shared for the people who have registered there. And one more thing I forgot to add is, as a Decoding Data Science company initiative, other than the hackathon, for all the students who are applying to this hackathon, we are also encouraging them to give a scholarship for top 3 people, top 3 students who have applied for the hackathon. And we have a different criteria to judge the top 3, but we, as an incentive and as a part of encouraging the youth to learn, this scholarship is given access to 1 year of complete resources, workshops, or an academy, and our community premium access that are there. This is going to be a separate initiative only for students who have passed out last year and who are currently still in college. So this is an extra bonus. And as I told you, 11th February is the final submission. The results are going to be announced. The top 3 winners of the hackathon are going to be announced on the 15th. And the 20,000 dirhams is the prize, exactly is 12,000 dirhams for the first team, 5,000 dirhams for the second team, and 3,000 dirhams for the third team, and scholarship to the top 3 students for 1 year.
Sounds good. Any final comment or information on the hackathon?
Regarding the hackathon, one thing I wanted to say, because seeing the statistics is many people registered, and to be honest, we have got a very good response to this hackathon. We have around 70 teams already have registered, and whoever are listening to this call, do try to participate in this and try to submit, because the statistics says that in these type of hackathons, only 15% people submit their solutions. So if you participate and you submit, you are in the top 15%, and at least they will know your profile. They will understand it is a good learning for you, and you are going to be in their hiring pipeline. So take this opportunity. It gives you a very good opportunity to understand how a real project works, because this project that we are going to share is a real life case that has been worked upon for the Abu Dhabi firefighters, and you will be working on that. So it is going to simulate the real world experience. So it is a very good learning experience for all of the people who are interested to build a career in this space.
Sounds great. Best of luck with that. Mohammed, thank you so much for joining us on Thursday Deep Dive today. I can see that Aniket is got his hand up asking a question. No time today, but please do send Mohammed or myself a message.
You've been listening to a recording of Middle East AI News Live for Thursday, January 25th, 2024, brought to you by Carrington Malin. Thanks for listening.